To Today's Seniors Living Well with your host, Laurie Webb.
Hi everybody, welcome back to Today's Seniors Living Well. Our theme this 7th series is fit and safe, and we have been talking about being safe because you have good knowledge to avoid scams, and Mel Welsh from Sutter just shared some information about how you can be safe and fit healthier wise by taking precautions like get your flu shot, okay? One of the things Virginia and I wanted to do with this segment was bring back some of the wonderful elders of our tribe, as it were, and this morning joining me are a couple of people that I have really come to admire in the years that I've known them. Smokey Bennett, many of you probably know from his years as fire chief here in Jackson.
Assistant fire chief.
Assistant fire chief. And also from his wonderful automotive store where many of us went in extreme emergencies only to be told a lack of planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on my part. I love that sign, Smokey. And Smokey has been married to his lovely wife, Barbara King Bennett, and some of you probably knew Barbara when she ran travel agencies, and knew her husband, Dennis, who was the mayor of Jackson, and a friend of yours. So you guys are kind of the epitome of people who have been here in Amador County a long time and have been retired for a while and are having a really successful retirement. Tell our audience what it takes to have a good retirement.
Well, I think that planning from the start, financial, and after you do retire, whether you work for yourself or work for the government or a large corporation, you need to keep busy because you were busy when you were working, and you need to have fun.
And stay busy, have fun.
Absolutely, but cover yourself financially. And if you're staying busy and having fun, there's a good chance your health will stay with you, which is very important at this age. That's
true, because we all know that there are certain things we can't avoid about getting older, but we can certainly make them a lot less of an impact on our life. And how is it you stay busy right now?
Pardon me?
How is it you stay busy right now?
Oh, we square dance, Barbara and I, and we travel in an RV. In fact, we just returned from San Diego 2 weeks ago and Indio the last week, square dancing and having fun and meeting with not only our local club members, but meeting new people.
So the RVing is RVing with square dance folks.
Yes.
Yeah. My sister and brother-in-law live in San Diego, and they, for a long time, were part of a group that did that, and they really enjoyed it. They're a little bit younger than you guys, but they thoroughly enjoyed it. And you guys have been dancing how long, Barbara?
6 years.
6 years. And were you a square dancer when you and Smokey met?
I had not square danced. Smokey had square danced in the 60s.
60s and 70s.
And so it takes a good year before you become proficient at it and it really becomes a lot of fun.
Yeah. You were telling me before the show about how friendly folks are and how, you know, that group is very receptive.
We had an experience this last 2 weeks. We met a couple in Yuba City. They were from Sweden.
Sweden?
And they were excellent dancers. Oh my gosh, were they good dancers. And they said, well, they were going to be going on to San Diego and on to Indio. So we saw them later in San Diego and danced with them again. Saw them later in Indio and danced with them. And so we had them join our potluck the last night. And it was quite educational, comparing their lifestyles and everything. So it's not only in square dancing you get the wonderful physical exercise, you get a lot of mental exercise and a lot of social exercise.
Right, because there's all that calling. I mean, some nights at the senior center, I'll still be there when you guys start dancing, and I'm like, oh my gosh, how do they remember what all those things mean that you're supposed to be doing?
And an interesting fact about square dancing is worldwide, the callers call in English.
Really?
So you can go to Europe or Asia and square dance there. Sometimes it might be a little difficult to understand the caller, but
all the calls are the same.
the calls are the same
And
worldwide.
they're using, so are they using USA music too, or
Most of the time.
most of the time? Uh-huh.
But there's something called Caller Lab, and the callers adhere to this on how they teach, the order they teach in, and everything, and the different levels.
That's amazing. I never knew. I mean, I always thought of square dancing as just sort of, you know, absolutely American dance part. I mean, I know Sweden has a lot of folk dancing, but
This
that's
is the second
great.
time in the last 3 years that we've met somebody from Sweden square dancing. In fact, they came to the Jackson Claim Jumpers Club in Jackson it was either 2 or 3 years ago, and danced.
That's great. Now, the claim jumpers have been around. They were there when I came to the senior center 27 years ago. You guys have been around forever.
Come March, we will have our 65th anniversary.
65 years?
Started in
club has been-
1950.
Wow.
Yeah, the club has been in existence, and we don't have any members that have been that long.
No. But, I mean, to have an organization exist that long and be as vital. I mean, I know there's been some periods where drop off a little, but it seems like you guys have really picked up a lot of members again.
We have a new dancer class.
Yeah, we do. Every year we recruit new members to dance with us. And the dancing is growing within the organization itself in the general thing. There's been a decline, but there's more advanced dancing now, and people stick with dancing longer. Actually, we have danced one place where we were the youngest couple. The couples in their 90s are still
wonderful.
dancing.
Wonderful.
And I think it's a preventive measure because it helps you keep agile. It keeps you from falling, and our muscles stay strong.
Right. It's very vigorous exercise. I think that I'm not sure I could keep up at this point, but maybe when I retire, my husband and I will try.
Well, when you do, and you start dancing once a week, and then when we go to Arizona, we dance maybe 7 days a week, twice a day, and that's good.
We used to. We're going to slow down.
Slow down a little. So you go to Arizona every year for
2 months.
For 2 months.
We
You're snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
And one of the reasons we go is because that's the square dancing capital of the world, and we have very good callers down there. And like I said, we can dance twice a day, 7 days a week if we want.
So it's really a thing where there's probably no place in the United States where you couldn't probably hook up with a square dance group.
That's very true.
That's
when we
what a
travel,
connection.
we get on the internet and we see if there is a dancing club there, and you're always welcome anywhere you are.
Anywhere you go. And you don't have to have I notice a lot of people are dancing in more casual clothes.
Oh, sure.
There's some beautiful outfits that show up on Mondays too, but it seems like people are comfortable just dancing in
casual attire is pretty much encouraged now, especially when you're learning.
Not fuss with the flouncy stuff and all. But
we plan to go to Helena, Montana this coming year in, I think it's August and September, to what they call the USA West Square Dancing Convention.
Wow.
And we're going to go with 2 other couples from this area, and it'll be probably close to 2-month RV trip.
Wow. And so you'll caravan.
And we will caravan, and we will, on every stop because we don't like to drive more than 200 or 300 miles a day.
Sure, in an RV.
Every stop we will check the computer to see if there's a club there and if they're meeting on that night.
Wow, this is the way to retire. Find something
Have
that you
fun.
love and have fun at it. And as you wisely said, all of you out there that are not retired yet, start thinking if you have your finances in order so that you can have fun like these folks are having in retirement, because you want to be fit. And believe me, they are fit. Barbara, Smokey, thank you so much for coming on this morning. It's always a delight to talk to somebody that's as passionate and happy in their retirement as the two of you are, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you very much.
All right, folks, we're going to go to break, and my next guest is someone I've had on in the past, and we're going to be talking about another health resource that we have here. Not everybody is as proactive as these two folks are about keeping their health up. So sometimes we end up having to go to the hospital and be taken care of by people like Mel. Or if you need a little more rehab, you might be going to the local rehab center, Kit Carson, and we'll be talking about that next, so stay tuned.
1 in every 4 women